Today we're going to help you troubleshoot and give you some things to try to fix if your car amplifier won't power on. Let's get to it. Step 1. First, you'll want to do a voltage check through the positive and negative terminals of your amplifier with a multimeter or a test light. If nothing shows up on the multimeter or test light, you'll want to move on to the next step. Step 2. The external fuse may not be properly secured to the power wire, or it's not making proper contact to the wire. If this is the case, you'll want to be sure to secure the external fuse to your wiring. Step 3. The external fuse, which is located inside the fuse holder, may be blown. If this is the case, most amplifiers come with replacement fuses so you can easily switch them out. Step 4. If your amplifier won't power on, check the ground wire. Make sure there is no rust or dirt on the metal area the ground wire is connected to. Make sure the connection is 100% secure and tight. And also please note that you cannot use a self-tapping screw to ground to. Step 5. The power wire you are using may not be connected properly to the ring terminal of your battery, or it has acid corrosion on it. If so, check to make sure the power wire is secure and check for any signs of corrosion. Step 6. Your power wire may be connected to the ground terminal instead of the 12-volt power line. So make sure the power and ground wires are connected to the correct terminals. You'll also want to make sure they don't become loose and make sure to secure them back into the terminals. Step 7. Check to make sure the battery you are using with your amplifier is fully charged so that your amp can power on. If your amplifier has a voltmeter, you can use that to gauge the voltage, or you can check with a multimeter. Typically, you want your battery to be 12 volts or higher. Step 8. The internal fuse, which is located on the side of the amplifier, may have blown. If this is the case, most amplifiers come with fuses to replace on the side of the amp as well. Step 9. Check the remote turn-on wire. You want to make sure that this wire is connected securely to the amplifier on one end, and make sure that the other end is connected to the remote turn-on the head unit receiver. A common error we see is the remote turn-on gets connected to the antenna wire instead of the remote turn-on wire on the head unit. Please note the remote turn-on wire is required in order for your amplifier to work. Make sure to double check the user manual of your head unit to know which wire is the remote wire. Step 10. It is also possible the remote wire in the terminal is loose or fell out. If so, be sure to set it back into the remote terminal of your amplifier and make sure it is secure. Step 11. After everything is checked, including the ground and power lines, your battery supply, your fuses, your head unit, but you're still not getting any power, we'll want to check the remote line again to see if it's the issue. To check that, we can remove the remote wire from the remote terminal. Then you take a jumper cable like this and connect it from the 12-volt terminal of your amplifier into the remote terminal of your amplifier. If the amp powers on after doing that, you'll need to replace your remote wire or your head unit. So hopefully this video helped you guys troubleshoot some issues if your amp was not powering on. But if you're still experiencing some issues, feel free to reach out to our customer support tech team through phone or email. We'll see you guys in the next one.